Hey guys, welcome to another video. My name is Martin Tech Guy, and this is another video on web design and development. We're talking about um, basically web design and web development using HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. Basically, we're talking about the basics because this is the basics actually, and you need to understand these parts of or there are some certain things you need to understand about web dev before you actually go all the way into developing websites. Something else I'll actually put out there. I'll be dropping materials, that is books, courses, and books that you'll be reading to actually get a hang of HTML, CSS, Bootstrap, and JavaScript, as well as some certain courses and articles that you'll be reading from really amazing engineers that I actually work with. And thank you. So in the last video, we talked about things like the basic principles of web design, tools used to get started, and also to get started on design. Our IDEs, that is VS Code, Sublime Text, Artform, and Brackets, as well as the full meaning of HTML, which is Hypertext Markup Language, CSS meaning Cascade Style Sheet, and JS meaning JavaScript. Yeah. And then we talked about things like our tools, being Liveserver, Fitsia, and Emmet, and today we'll be talking about things like our tags. But before we actually move into these tags, I want us to cover something. I want us to first of all look at three basic things that we'll be covering in this video. And those things will be number one, basic the planning process, the planning process of building a website, wireframing and prototyping. Exactly. So those are the things that we'll actually be looking at in this tutorial. So first thing is we have to prototype. Now there are different ways of actually prototyping. We can actually be able to use pen and paper to get something called a wireframe out. A wireframe is basically how the structure goes. A wireframe is basically how the structure, like structure of a website is actually done. How where those blocks will be, where the navigation bar will be, and all those things is actually done in a wireframe. I think I should show you an example of what a wireframe is. So let me give you an example of what a wireframe is. A wireframe. Internet can be slow at times. So please don't think about wireframe. These guys want us to just drop wireframes. Okay, let me look at wireframes. Internet stop. Okay, so this is basically what a wireframe looks like. You see how these things are structured. So basically, where the designers will put in those things, or where the designers will be putting in every single feature or design, that's what a wireframe basically is. So if you want to know basically wireframes are not just limited to just web design or product design. It's in the product design in a sense, but basically anything you want to do needs a wireframe. If you're arranging your house, you need a wireframe. It's basically going to give you an idea of where things are supposed to be and also be able to help you understand the flow, like how these things flow, like what do you press and where does this thing you press take you to? How is this design supposed to be structured? That is basically what a wireframe helps you achieve so that it will be easier for you as a designer to be able to achieve amazing designs and to help your workflow to go extremely smooth. Wireframes take some time, sure, but it's actually amazing or it will make so much sense and it will be great if you actually have a wireframe planned out. Normally, you can actually use a pen and paper to actually achieve your wireframe, those ruler, pencil, eraser, and achieve your wireframe. But if you want to actually do high key prototyping, I actually suggest that you use a tool called Figma, or Figma is actually kind of advanced, so just go to a tool called Just in Mind. Just in Mind. Yeah, Just in Mind is something that allows you to prototype, so you can actually be able to design. Just a Mind allows you, this is actually the UI for Just a Mind. Just a Mind allows you to prototype. Yeah, that's amazing, right? Just a Mind allows you to prototype. Like you can actually create your app and put the way you want your website or this thing to be, and you can actually make it. and you can actually be able to test it on your phone, and you can give someone and be like, okay, do you like this design? And you can actually be able to arrange it before you actually move into development, and before you even start developing it, or even before you start um, building it using code. You can actually do a simple design, and you can actually get people to like check it out and what they actually feel about these designs, which is really amazing because now there are like you can actually be able to know what you want to build even before you start building it, which is really really important, especially when you don't have a specific um goal or design in mind. It's really amazing if you actually have a prototype standing by or a design standing by. It's good, like they say, to planning failing to plan is planning to fail, stuff like that. So that's what they say. So yeah, so that's it for the prototyping stage. I would like to show you a prototyping stage, but I really can't show you in this video how prototyping works. But the next video will be a video on prototyping, so they can actually be able to know how prototyping feels like. So, but you can just like simply download Just in Mind on your computer and actually get things going. So yeah, for those and yeah, Just in Mind has a mobile application. So once you go on Play Store, you install Just in Mind on your phone. You can actually be able to test out your prototype on your phone and know how your app or website work on your phone, which is really cool. Um, yeah, moving on to the next phase. And I believe if you don't, one of the things you have to understand is creating a HTML document. I believe we actually we've actually done that. I know, not that I believe. I know we've actually done that. We've actually created a HTML document. Yes, we have. Yes, we have. And so if you haven't known that, go back to the last video and actually check it out. I showed you how you can create the HTML document, and every single HTML document ends with .html, and then also every single CSS document also ends with .css, and every single JavaScript document ends with .javascript or .js. So now let's talk about this. Let's talk about the big boys in this game. Let's talk about the big boys in this game. HTML tags. Now let me first of all change this to oh, let me show you guys a cool trick. If you right click on this, if you right click on stuff.txt on your VS Code, you can actually open something by the side. Yeah, split left. Yeah, click on split left, you can actually open this thing by the side. So if you want something by this side of the screen and you want to also be coding here, or you have something you want to be coding here, and like you have something by the side, you can actually be able to like have those things by the side and to be easy for you to actually just like share screens and life will be easy for you. So another thing I want to also show you guys before actually moving to development again is I want to show you guys before we start moving into development again is GitHub. I know it might be, I don't think it's too early for me to actually show you guys GitHub, but as a developer, you will be doing something called open source, and you will be asked to do things like collaborate with other developers and find code or open source code that can actually be able to use and work on different things, and as well as you'll be you can actually be able to get source code or code of a particular project or whatever project you want to work on, and you can find it, and you can also find people's code. You can collaborate with them, you can support them, and you can build with them. GitHub is basically an amazing code community for developers and as well as engineers, because as an engineer I use GitHub a lot and I enjoy GitHub. No cap, I enjoy GitHub to the max. That's what I did there. That is open GitHub. Too many tabs are open on my computer. Let me close them. Too many tabs open. Let me close them. Okay, GitHub is opening. So now GitHub is opening, so you can know what GitHub is. So when you go to GitHub, what you have to do is just create an account and then boom, Bob's your uncle. Like I said I'll do two things. I said I'll do something. I said I'll talk about prototyping, and I'll give you guys a simple explanation on, or a simple walkthrough on how you can actually prototype. And I will also give you guys and also give you guys and yeah, I will give you guys a walkthrough on GitHub on how you can collaborate, push, pull, and do so many certain things on GitHub. You can actually get started on your. For now, okay, I think yes. So now you can actually like get started. Don't look at my dashboard. It's like some secret agent stuff going on. So, well, this is okay. So I want to close this. I want to like drag this away so that I can be able to do my work. So I just need this here while I test out some certain things. And here I'll be creating a new file called let me call it tutorial.html. Like I told you, HTML tutorial.html. Oh, okay. Um, okay. So I want to also open. Okay, good. I want to have those things open by the side actually, and then have this open issue here, and also have stuff.txt open issue here. So now there's something in HTML called HTML tags. HTML tags are basically what make up the entire building block of HTML, or the entire block of HTML. Like what makes HTML is the tags for HTML. Before you can be able to basically achieve anything, you need those tags to actually be functioning. And if your tags don't function, well, like Java don't definitely can't. So let me show you guys how these things work. Django HTML. I'm going to change this. I don't know why they put this on Django HTML, but I'm going to change this from Django HTML to normal HTML so that I can be able to achieve some certain shortcuts when I'm building stuff. Achieve some certain shortcuts. So we have things. Okay, I show you guys the shortcuts if you want to actually be able to achieve something. Like if you're on your normal HTML page and you want to set up your HTML document for development, all you gotta do is do this exclamation mark. Yeah, you just gotta do this exclamation mark. Why is it not working? For God's sake. Still in Django HTML. That's why it's not working. Still in Django HTML. So just have to change this to Django HTML. Okay, good. It was still in Django HTML, so I have to change it back to HTML for this to actually work. And now this basically is called an emmet. Like I told you guys here that you have to install emmet. So this is basically an emmet abbreviation. It's kind of like a kind of code shortcut that can actually be used to achieve your HTML documentation setup. So yeah, if I click enter, if I click enter, it kind of like sets it up for me. Yeah. If I click enter, it kind of like sets it up for me, and everything is like set on stone. Everything is nice. Everything is really nice. You can actually design and get things done. So what I'm doing basically in this video is just showing you guys around and making you guys be familiar with the entire environment. But I think the best way to actually learn this stuff is when we actually build projects. Um, I am not an all father in HTML and CSS because of I am stronger at Python, I am stronger at IoT and electronics, and I also do web development actually too, but front end developments too. But I am going to be showing you guys using project, like I'm going to be working on projects together, and that is how we are going to be working on this stuff. So now once you do this, I'm going to give you guys a short thing. Once we do this, we have our entire HTML document set up, and all we gotta do is if you have a project and you want to name a project and TomTom, So now what I just did is I am changing this title. If you go to Chrome, if you go to Chrome, this place up here, this bar, what I just changed here is the name that is going to be showing on this bar. That is really what I just changed, literally what I just changed in my HTML document. I just changed it to TomTom. You can change it to whatever you want, probably anything you want, you can change it there. So now that's what I'm going to be doing. So the first thing I'm going to be going for is the header. So now we have the body, we have the head, we have the body, and all those things. So we are going to be testing out every single HTML tag from here, and we're going to be picking them randomly. So first off, we're going to have a title. A title is very, very important. H1, H1. Okay, we're going to have a, why is it not automatically closing? Naturally, this thing is automatically closed, but I don't know what's wrong with VS Code. It don't like closing my tags for me. I don't know why. Okay, good. It's closed now. So H1 first off is the title, and this one gives the like it is the main title. H1 tag is the main title. So what you gotta do is just anything you want to type inside here, anything you want to type inside here, you can actually type it. And yeah, for you to actually go live, if you want to see this website on Chrome, you just go to this live server. I told you guys to install live server. So listen, you should have listened to me. Install live server and you are good to go basically. So yeah, TomTom. You said that the header now is saying TomTom and this place. Oh my god. Yeah, so this is Umi Della and yeah, this is basically everything that you need to know. So Umi Della, so that's the H1 tag, and yeah, sometimes you might want to style your this thing, you might want to style your HTML document. All you gotta do is that to be able to style your HTML document, you need to put your HTML document under something called class. So all you gotta do is class, you just name your class whatever you want to name it. I'm sorry, I am not seeing clearly. Okay, so I'm not seeing this thing clearly. Oh God. Wow. Okay. All of a sudden, I forgot where my keys are on my keyboard. So this class, this H1 class, is basically how you can use to name this class now. Is once you name it, if you go to your CSS, let's say you go to your CSS and you click on fonts.css now, or let's say look, let's go to main.css, not fonts.css. Ah, go to main.css. Now, for us to be able to get these things, or like you see body tag, all these things have a class name. Basically, they have a class name from the body to the whatever shard. They all have a class name, and these class names is what help these things to actually be styled. For you to be able to style your CSS, you need to have a class name or a class. In JavaScript or in React, it's called class name, but in HTML, that is this HTML document is going to call class. So I'm going to name it class Umi. You can name it whatever, so that when you're actually building, I think, yeah, this should even help define it. A space separated list of classes of the element. Classes allow CSS and JavaScript to select and access specified elements via the class selectors or functions like the method document or get elements by class name. That the method or document is actually a function in JavaScript. This is actually a function in JavaScript, and basically every single thing here they teach you or they tell you what they are for. So all you gotta do is basically just read through and they will tell you everything it's for. Development has been made easy basically by the community. Development has been made easy. So life is not hard again for anybody. Life is not hard. So yeah, next is the body. Okay, I think I've done body. Body is automatically set for us. To make an italic text, like to put stuff in italics, you need I, okay, I element, okay. Yeah, you need I. This helps put things in italic. So if I want to do something in italic, I use the I to actually put things in italics. So let me go back to this place. So automatically reload. Okay, now see. It automatically put this stuff in italic for me, so I can like just see things in italic. So yeah, so you guys should calm down. I am basically just showing you guys how these things work before we can actually go. So I know when we're actually working on it, asking what is this and what is that. And those I can actually ask questions in the comment section if you have any questions for me. I'm taking your questions. And if you want to make things like lists, uh yeah, those that you can be reading this area if you just want to be snooping while I'm testing them out here. So now if you want to make things like lists or if you want to make a paragraph here, thank God that came to my mind now. P for paragraph. If you want to make a paragraph, that's what it is. So P is the P element represents a paragraph. So that's what P represents. And this element represents H1 element. Um, okay, I don't think it's showing. Sure. P represents a paragraph, so you can type whatever you want inside this paragraph, and it automatically like create a paragraph for you. So if you want to write something like a book in form of a website, you can actually have these things inside the paragraph and it will write them down for you. Simple, smooth, everything just alright. So yeah, that's we have that. That is that. We have div. It's a division of part of my HTML document. That's what div is. So div is a division of part. Like if you want to put a part of your website or a part of your HTML code in just one block, and you want that div to be able to, and you want that div to be affected, or like let me give an example. I think actions speak louder than words. So let me give an example. We have div. So now div is, let me show you. Div is the div element has no special meaning at all. Actually, it represents its children. It can be used with the class, slang, title representation, and all that stuff. So div is just basically something that holds children. So if you want to have like a kind of like a block of code and you want something to contain that block of code in your website, you don't want it all scattered like the way this H1 is everywhere. You don't want it all scattered. Naturally, if I'm building a website, I would actually have this H1 italic and paragraph inside a div so that it will be easy for me to actually like style them using CSS. Like now, I would actually take this, I'll take this, all of this, I'll take all of this, Control C, let me delete this out, and I'll put them inside this div. See, it automatically because this div is meant to hold things inside. You can see some certain code like this. You can see some, okay, yeah, you see that my code automatically arranged itself because it's meant to like format. That's what Prettier is for. Prettier helps you format your code and your code will be looking neat, like neat. So what this basically does is that this is like a children's section. That's the children's section. This is like a child element, a children element that actually helps you contain your code. So what you gotta do is like if you want to now have a general name for them, those class div class, the name of that class is called div div1. So now when you go to the CSS, all you gotta do is just go there and then now tally on this div1. So I'll teach you guys how you can be able to set up your CSS stuff like that. So yeah, all you have to, if you want to set up your CSS, you go to the CSS document, main.css, which I don't know why it got name it's loading so slow. I don't know why it's loading so slow. Sure. Okay, it's open. So now this div now under the body we have this. So now under the body we have this, and Then we have things like section. Now there is a div called section. Like there's literally an element, and the class name is called section. So now you see that once this, the reason why this can actually be the padding of this section, now that div is called is section from class section, you know, this thing section actually. So now you see that how it works. So if I want to do something, if I want to actually style this particular div, if I want to style this particular div, or let's say I want to make the background, though normally you can actually like style this from inside. Yeah, you can actually style from this place. You can actually like turn your background, to what you actually want your background to be. So here you can do background red. You can actually change your background to what you want your background to be. Sure, I can't do it for me. I don't think it will work, but you can actually do it for me. It's people actually do that. They actually change their background. You don't want their background to actually be a particular color. Actually change their background. So what what you want your background to be like. But the background might not really like extensively work because of we already have a div working that is supposed to actually do that for us. So what we're supposed to do is we're supposed to actually go to our main.css, but this main.css won't work for us. This main.css won't work for us. So we're supposed to go here and under this body here, this place, go here and supposed to under this body now here. So dot dot section dot div and under it create a bracket. This is not this kind of bracket. Not this kind of bracket. See that? Yeah, this bracket, and then when you create this bracket, you now write what you want. So you want your background to be red. You can actually like it also actually help you automatically complete it. So you just pick what you want, background color, whatever color you want. You can make your background to be. So you can actually like change it like that. So I want you to understand that this is how that actually works. So, but note that you can only make it work when you've named the div. So the div has to have a name, and the class gives the div that the class gives the div that attribute of being able to be styled inside the CSS document. Okay. So yeah, there's so many other things that we have. Yeah, note that this H1 also has many H's too. Yeah, there are H stroke. There's H2, yeah, there's literally H2 and H3, yeah, and there's 4, 5, and 6. All these are headings. All of them vary in size and as well as boldness. But if you want to make something really bold, like if you want to be bolder than the drink itself, you can actually just do the B attributes, and that automatically makes anything you put up bold. Yeah, the B elements represent a span of text which are for utilitarian purposes without conveying any extra importance and no implication of anatomic voice or mood. So now, if you want to draw attention to a particular text in your website or your text or your HTML document, all you can do is just use this particular tag and to draw that attention that you need. So yeah, so this video is just supposed to give you guys a simple breakdown so you can do everything you want to do. So now let's digress from this a little bit. Let's digress a little bit. Like I will put this up on the this thing. I'll put this. This is the one you gotta be looking at. I'll put this up so you can actually go and check for more, and I'll put up the book as well. So you can actually have the books so you can read up and you can know all the tags. So in the next video, we'll be working on our first website, and that website is what we'll be using. Yes, to learn our errors, everything. And yeah, trust me, we'll be googling a lot. We'll be googling. I'll show you guys how developers you think that we are magicians. No, we Google, we ask questions. We don't know, sometimes we are stuck, we don't know what to do, and we ask questions. Yes, I will tell you the truth. I won't lie to you. I'm not a magician. My father did not born me a magician. So now when we go to GitHub, we can actually go to search for product, search for project. projects, and yeah, sometimes I actually use HTML templates for some certain things I want to do. But the thing is that you can't use HTML templates if you don't even know web design in the first place. How will you be able to edit it if you don't know what you're doing in the first place? So just you can actually find a website. Let's say I want to do a crypto website, crypto website, crypto website. You can actually be able to find a crypto website, and if you want to think like crypto website, you can actually find a crypto website. So they will show you different options in different programming languages and all that stuff. So you have so many things to actually choose from. So yeah, so basically now wrapping it up, and yeah, I'll also be dropping a link to where you can actually find templates, but I won't be dropping that now yet until our next video, so that I actually be able to wrap up this web development course, and then all I need to do is just be guiding you through, and life goes on and on and on and all that stuff. But I believe I should be able to have touched or go deep into this thing from here and giving you guys a little bit of insight. So what we'll be doing next is what we'll be doing in our next video is we'll be doing two things basically in our next video. We'll be learning how to prototype properly, and we'll also be learning the ins and outs of GitHub, and also we'll be learning also how to, yeah, we'll be building a project next. After the prototyping and GitHub video, we'll be doing a project next. So that's what we're working on, and then boom, we're done. So thank you so much for actually staying tuned and watching this video. I know it's longer than all the videos I've actually been doing so far. I'm really grateful that you actually stayed. Please subscribe, drop your questions in the comments, drop your feelings of what you actually think that we will actually do to make these videos better in the comments. What you think that we should have added in the video. If you're a boss watching this video right now, drop your comments too. If you have content or resources that you can share with us to actually make our learning process easier, also drop it too in the comment section. I'll also drop my email is literally there, so you can actually email me or drop my Twitter, my Instagram, and you can actually reach out to me if you have questions, personal questions actually.